Hello, and welcome to the Plies and Hellhounds corner of the internet. Car alarm's going off. I am Gabby, your human host, and I have Audrey and Iron, our Pembroke Welsh corgis, putzing around with us. We have been on a little bit of a hiatus, thanks car alarm, because we are moving next week. So I thought I'd bring you along to help pack up the office slash Plies and Hellhounds HQ. And this is not going to be an efficient way of packing because I will also be answering questions that not everybody. I'll be answering some questions that people asked on Instagram. It's not going to be an efficient way to pack, but it'll be better than just putzing around in silence. Before I get into the packing, I actually have knitting to show you real quick, and I apologize for this awful lighting. So we're going to adjust and show you some knitting before we tackle that thing. You're getting some real AF living shots right now since we are in the process of moving. Yes. All right, I've knit a thing. I started and finished a knitting thing. Do I think the mojo's back? A little bit. Not jinxing this. So this is the Canut shawl by Berangere, Calliau. I think she's French. Don't know. It is a lace brioche knit on the baya shawl with garter stitch, and this is just my not blocked giant like spiteful siren shawl, as I am dubbing it. That's basically it. Maybe I will keep it. I wasn't planning on keeping this. They're not really my colors. I don't wear these that often. I haven't decided yet, but just putting it on now, I'm not mad. Not mad at all. Alright, so I have some Eden Cottage yarn for the garter stitch. I will put the colorway names in the show notes down below in the doobly-doo. Please don't drink my coffee. Thank you. The pink is Courtesan by Voolenvine and her Nouveau base. And then the reverse side, this blue variegated, is Yesterday's Bouquet by Stranded Dye Works. I believe that one is like a 75-25 or 80-10, nope, 80-20 BFL nylon? I have no idea. I will put it below. I did it on size 5 or 6 needles, I think, I don't remember. And this is the only thing that I have been working on. I have picked up other knitting recently, but not enough to show you, slash every time I knit on one I have to rip it out, which when you see it you are going to question who let me do this professionally, as unprofessional as this entire setup is. So yeah, that has been my knitting, and because of moving I have not really been crafting. Otherwise, a lot of stuff has been packed up for a long time, slash this entire month. It is March 27th. We are moving on April 3rd. So let's go start grabbing things to pack, and I'm going to start answering some questions on Instagram. I didn't do my intro. God damn it. You can, if you want to follow us anywhere else, you can find me everywhere online as Gabigailss, and all my hand-dyed yarn at Plies and Hellhounds and pliesandhellhounds.com. Okay, with that, let's start packing and answering questions. I have my tiny microphone, but I don't know if this is working, so we'll find out. Okay, I have Instagram pulled up, and I will be bouncing around between questions because one person asked me many a question, so I'm spreading them out. You know who you are. All right, question 1. Who is your fave viewer? That's just unfair to ask. And that is from, I constantly say your name is Peonies. No. I'm gonna have to go with Riley because I know as soon as he hears me on the TV, he's right there. So Riley is a Sheltie. He's also one of Audrey and Iron's BFFs. So big fan. There's a siren, so we're gonna wait. Are these gonna be too... Can I get these out of here? Stickers. Next question. Is your sewingjo back yet? I don't know. I think it's coming back. I do have ideas for what I want to sew, but everything is packed up right now, so we'll see. I've got plans. I'm hoping to make those plans into a video. I am forgetting how to close box. What are your darkest secrets? I don't think I have that many. Can I cop out and say no? Just no? Does it count as a dark secret to say that I am mildly afraid of the dark, even though I used to work in a darkroom? I'm counting that. That's my dark secret. Any other secrets? I can't tell anybody. That sounds bad. I don't have any other secrets. I'm not hiding anything from anybody, I promise. Moving on. Forget secrets. Recommendations for choosing sweaters that match your wardrobe. I have so many that I love. My wardrobe goal is, I don't even use these backdrops. Dark academic, fantasy adventure, Victorian ghost, but make it comfy right now. Oh, I need these. Oh no, wait, I can't pack these up. I have to pack orders. What am I doing? So I would say for that style, anything Andy Satterland. She does have a big vintage feel, but it's the same silhouette that I go for, which is usually a fitted cropped sweater. Also anything with Peter Pan collars, so the Wendy pullover or the Baudelaire crop. I'm now getting into V-neck sweaters. I don't have any patterns off the top of my head, but I will try and put a few in the show notes. The sweaters I wear the most are I'm wearing my City Limits by Samantha Guerin Designs. I know this shows you so much. Wait, this is it. There we go. So this is the crop style that I like, but also just a little bit, a small detail section is kind of what I'm going for. I hope that helps or made sense. Ooh, I know how to use boxes. Yeah, I hope that helps. Basically anything with a texture pattern or one like key design feature like lace on the shoulder or arm, and then lots of cropped, lots of fitted, mostly fitted. And yeah, I'm hoping to get into V-neck sweaters. I cheekily bought a ton of yarn, so I'm hoping to make a couple of those. Do you like bagels? I love bagels. I love plain bagels, cinnamon bagels, Asiago cheese bagels, jalapeno cheddar bagels. I don't like everything bagels, but I like putting everything but the bagel seasoning on the cream cheese for bagels. I don't know. Maybe it's just where the seasoning is. Favorite recent book? I think from this year, my favorite read, okay, from this month, I think my favorite read so far has been Red, White, and Royal Blue. It was just everything I needed. Don't get me wrong, I did love A Court of Silver Flame. I am infuriated by it, but at the same time, I could spend a whole podcast just talking about that book, so I will spare you that. But I think this month has to be Red, White, and Royal Blue. It was just such a good storytelling. Every character had a purpose and their own story arc that you got to watch them go through. And Henry and Alex are the cutest people I've ever met. Like, that book is so adorable. I want to crush things in my hands. Like, I just want to commit violent acts. It was so cute. So I think that's my favorite book right now. Who's your favorite moody boy? Ooh. Oh, you're gonna make me choose between all my boys? I think at this very moment, Audrey, besides Iron, who will always be my #1 moody boy, right, Iron? I think it's Carden from The Cruel Prince. I mean, always be repping my man Asriel, always. I mean, just the Bat Boys. Bat Boys always have a place in my heart. Carden's the first one that comes to mind, so I'm gonna go with Carden from The Cruel Prince because, yes, perfect segue. Are there any plans to dye yarn of The Cruel Prince or other books? Yes, maybe. So as there are no more, I've been hemming and hawing about doing an advent calendar for this year. I don't know if I'm going to still. There is no next set of Sarah J. Maas books to do anything on. I'm not dyeing a whole advent on just ACOSF. I can't do one on Silver Flame. There's nope. I can't do it. In Crescent City there's only one book still, so I knowing me, once those become fully fleshed out series, I will probably go back and do that. So I have been thinking of doing either a dark academic one or a dark academic one. That was a weird accent. Or maybe the Cruel Prince series, because there are technically 4 books in that if you include Why the King of Elfhame Hates Stories. So I might do that. Maybe. I'm probably gonna at least dye yarn for it at one point once we get settled, but it's a perhaps. If you could be haunted by anyone, who would you choose and why? Ooh. If I could be haunted by anyone. Right off the bat, I want to say Mary Shelley, because I feel like she was the OG I do it because I do it for the spite lady. So I'm gonna go with her. Yeah, Mary Shelley. I feel like she would enjoy being a ghost too. She could teach me all of her ways. Any plans for a single ply fingering weight base? So I used to have one, the Oliver base. I think it's been like 2 or 3 years since I've carried it, maybe less, I don't know. It wasn't doing that well, but if people are still interested, maybe I'll bring it back as a seasonal base. If you think it would be a good seasonal base, let me know and I will definitely start ordering it again. I did go a little crazy with bases at one point. I think we had like 12 bases that I was dying between, so I just had to cut it back for my own sanity. But I could do, I'm trying to do the tweeds as like fall, winter, spring-ish only. So maybe I'll do the single ply as like a spring, summer only. Let me know what you would think. Ask me questions, I'll ask them right back. This is my favorite question. What's Jake's worst? Jake's worst is being the opposite of a middle child syndrome when it comes to food. So I have middle child syndrome where if I see food, must eat food because otherwise your other siblings will eat the food on you. He is a middle child of save the very last bite of your meal forever and never eat it. That way you have food when your siblings eat the rest of your food. So we are just in a constant battle of who ate the last of the sandwich? Me, because it was just sitting there. And why is there a bad sandwich in the fridge? Because you didn't finish eating it. That's Jake's worst. Deep and dirty stuff, right? How big is your stash? Not that big. It is packed up. It's been packed up for a long time. I have one of the Calyx systems from IKEA. And I would say 4 cubes are untouched skeins. 1 cube is just notions and project bags. Another cube is just fiber. And the last cube is scrap. So the scrap one is filled 100%. And I would say the other 3 or the 4 are probably like 70 to 80% filled on each one, and then one's definitely like stuffed to the max. So not that big. In terms of skeins, I would say less than 100. Maybe between like the 50 to 70 mark. We're just gonna ignore all the weird scraps I have in the bins for blankets because those don't count for anything. Do you have regrets having a Scorpio friend? Absolutely not. I no longer need to search for anything. They already have the information before I even can ask. It's very handy. How many skeins of yarn would you estimate you dye every year? A lot. Many. Let me do some math. Nope, that's not right. Oh God. Okay, hold on. All right, so if I did 6, I usually do 4 colors per update. Let's say I averaged every other week last year. Probably between 1,500 and 2,000 skeins a year. With the festivals, I've been dyeing more for the festivals, but then that means I just get a slightly longer break. I have to get some packaging stuff. Oh, there's dried flowers in this bin. Can you tell I haven't used this since the wedding? This is a good one. Okay, ACOTAR Hulu cast. Sarah J. Moss, SJM, as you will. Nope, that's the wrong Pinterest board. Announced yesterday on Instagram that she is working with Ron, I forgot his last name, who directed Outlander and Hulu to create ACOTAR, the TV series. Am I gonna be mad if they mess it up? 1,000%. Will I still watch I'm gonna watch every episode. I'm gonna watch it all. So, I actually did some research and I'm gonna try and type up their names because I don't know actors. I can name like all 7 British actors, but that's it. Those are the only names I know. And I'm gonna try and do this in order of how you meet them in the first book because, should I wash these? I should wash the towels first. That makes sense. Then if you haven't finished the books or don't care, you can just skip ahead. Maybe I'll put a timestamp. I don't know. So in order of meeting these characters. Editing Gabby is back with the tiny microphone. Here we are. These are all my Dreamcast people. I want to say that. I also just want to say that whatever happened yesterday with like ACOTAR fans attacking an actress is bullshit and shouldn't happen. That was uncalled for, and this is just like my dream cast of what it would be. I think Ron Moore does a really good job of finding actors who are not in a lot of things and making this like not their debut, but finding actors where you're not associating them with other movies or films while watching it. I think he did a really good job with that in Outlander, and I think he will do a good job with that in ACOTAR. I am nervous and I have reservations on it, but his work is good and I trust him, I think. Should I? I don't know. This is gonna be a bad idea and it's not gonna pack well. Feyre, I could do Natalie Portman or Daisy Ridley. These are going to be dream casts. I know 100% they're not gonna get the people that I picture as these characters. Also, time travel's not a thing, but hear me out. I think these are gonna be good. So Feyre, either Daisy Ridley as like an actual person or Natalie Portman as like I could see her doing that. Or Sophie Scott? Sophie Turner? Sophie Turner. Is Sophie Scott a real person? I think that's Outlander. Sophie Turner, Sansa from Game of Thrones. I could see her as a good Feyre too. So those are my 3 Feyres. Nesta, Natalie Dormer, 100%. She's got just like the jawline, the death stare. Yes, Natalie Dormer. Elaine, a literal branch you found in the forest. A leaf, I don't care. She is the personality of a terracotta pot. If she doesn't turn evil in the next couple of books, kill her off. She's done nothing. Absolutely nothing. I want her to go evil. I want her to destroy the prison. I want her to end up with Eris. But I also want him going off on a tangent. Don't go on a tangent, Gabby. So those are the sisters. For their dad, Sean Bean, 100%. No questions asked. I am not taking any comments or concerns about this. If you know Sean Bean, if you know her father, then it's the perfect match. My backup answer would be the guy who plays the Onion Knight in Game of Thrones. He would also be a good Feyre's dad. Mr. Ortreon, if you will. Moving on to good old Tangerine Tim Tam Tampon the Tool himself. Dylan Sprouse from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. With him with like shoulder length hair, it's tampon. It's 100% tampon. You can't look at that man and tell me that's not Tangerine. It's him. I'm really sorry for this next one, but I think it would work out really well. For Lucian, my sweet baby boy, who has just been like a bad roommate situation this entire series. Honestly, at this point, justice for Lucian. Poor guy. I want him to turn Elaine down. I want her to be like, yeah, let's be together. And I just be like, no, we're not together. This is gonna be a 35-minute episode of just this answer. Okay, for Lucian, I forgot his last name. I'm not very good at wrapping glass, as you can see. I would like either Oliver Phelps, hear me out, or Domhnall Gleeson, George Weasley, or Fred, either of the twins. I'm okay with that. Because then you can make Bill Weasley Eris. I think he would be a really good Eris. But don't be mad at me, but I think he would be a good Eris. And then I think that would work out really well. Yes. If we have to go with like a pale redhead, one of those two. Who do we meet next? I think then we meet good old Rhysand, Henry Cavill, 100% Henry Cavill with his dog, obviously. It's him. There's also a TikToker that I would definitely sign up. Like I would sign him up to be Rhysand, but we're not going off TikToks because otherwise it's the same girl for all the characters. Where was I? Henry Cavill. It's Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is Rhysand. 100%. You can find me living on the cabin on top of this hill because I'll be dead there. I will be dying there. All right, moving on. Amarantha. I don't know her name. I will put it somewhere. She plays Morgana from Merlin. Her. She would be such a good Amarantha with the red hair and just like, oh, that stare. 100%. Moving under the mountain, we meet, who do we meet first? I think we meet Eris and Baron first. I think we do. So Eris, Gleeson, we've talked about this. Baron, it's got to be Jason Isaacs. It's 100% got to be Jason Isaacs. He is #1 bad dad. Gotta do it. It works. I have put zero thought into Lucian's mom. Honestly, whoever they want, I'm good. I will let them choose that one. The rest of them are on me. Then we meet Tarquin, who I am torn between Michael B. Jordan. It is. I don't know the other guy's name though. Hold on. So I am torn between Michael B. Jordan or Jesse Williams. Either one of those would be great. And whoever doesn't play it, I want the other one to be Varian. Because they could either way, just, yes, both of them. The Varian, I feel like, is bigger than Tarquin. We discussed that in casting. So those two, I feel like this is not just gonna be ACOTAR, it's gonna be like the whole series. Moving on to Helion, Donald Glover, 100% Donald Glover. Yes, he is Helion. Then we have, moving into the inner circle, we have to include them too. Morgana could be Morgan. Morgan could either be Blake Lively or Margot Robbie. I'll take either of those two. I have seen Natalie Dormer as one, but you know, that's fine. Is that gonna work? No. Is that gonna work? No. Is that gonna work? Yes. This has to get thrown out. Garbage. So, more Margot Robbie. Cassian. Sweet, sweet Cassian. Oh God, I wish I knew his last name. Hold on to the headboard, Cassian. Henry Cavill. Come on. Or Jason Momoa. But like not with full Aquaman beard, like close cut Jason Momoa. So slightly younger Jason Momoa, but just Jason Momoa, 100% him. It works perfectly with Versand. It's great. Ugh. My boy Azriel. So many thoughts on him for the next books. Azriel, when's Henry Cavill? Just done. Or Kit Harington. He's got Cassian hair, but he is broody as tits. Kit Harington. And then you cast Gwen as Rose. Rose Leslie. You cast Gwen as her. It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh. Okay. All right. So those. More? Nope. Did that. So Azriel, Kit, or Henry Cavill. Honestly, Henry Cavill could just play everybody in this show. I would watch it. Amren. I am torn between, I'm gonna go Tao. I'm gonna go Tao Okamoto. I hope I'm saying the last name right. She was in Westworld, Amren. I have not thought about Vasa or any of the queens, just random people, well-known people. It's fine. Jurian is either Cillian Murphy? Is that his name? Yeah, it's either Cillian Murphy or Ryan Reynolds. I will either of those guys. It's Stern Brunch Daddy all the way, and I feel like Ryan Reynolds is Silver Flame Jurian, and Cillian is Akawar Jurian. I haven't thought of the King of Highburn, but I've seen Tom Hiddleston. I will accept. So 45 minutes later, those are my that is who I'm recommending to Sarah to do the movie. I don't know if I could have a human play my main man, the Surreal. I think he's gonna have to be CGI, and I'm okay with that. If they do him dirty, I will burn the studios to the ground. I said what I said. Can I put the top on this? Ugh. Nice. I haven't cast Emery yet either. I will think on her. Okay, next question. You can live in any structure anywhere. What is it? Ooh, I would love to live in an actual Tudor cottage, or I would also accept, I think, a Scottish tower castle that has a renovated Victorian front area that they tacked on in the Victorian times. Dream, 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 dream. That's my anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the US, large Victorian house, large, just big Victorian house. I want a tower. I want secret servant passages. I want people to be unsure if there is a secret underground tunnel in my basement. That's it. Yep, that's it. I don't know how this packing is gonna go because they don't really nest. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Only fits like 2. Oh God, that's like, I need a box. Okay, moving on. Top 5 books. I'm gonna go by book series because making me choose between book series is cruel. Let me get a box. Top 5 series, book series of all time, of my life, my whole life. The Turtle series by Tamora Pierce. I would specifically say her Song of the Lioness series out of all of her turtle ones. I think that, all, you know, besides the other ones I'm gonna name, started and finalized my path for YA fantasy romance stuff. I mean, it is very much YA. It is not very big on romance. Like, it's definitely YA. But I think that's what got me so hooked. I can still remember passages of that book, and I haven't read them in years. I might reread them as soon as I get them back from my parents' house. Cool, these don't stack. I'm also facing away from the camera. Number 2 would have to be, I think, Lord of the Rings. That devoured my soul and also got me on the fantasy. But then I have to say, like, I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter's great. Harry Potter has forged my life, despite the fact that the person who wrote it is the absolute worst. But she is no longer canon. She is no longer part of the fandom. I am separating the artist from the art, and the fandom has taken over now. Everything we say is canon. So I'm not gonna put it in my favorite, but it is definitely like the most influential books. Three's got to be Sarah J. Maas. Just all of her books. I have problems with some of them, yes, but she is still writing. She has been writing since she was 16, and I like watching her grow as a writer. So definitely her. Favorite book. This is a hard question. My battery died because I talked about ACOTAR for too long. Again. I thought of these and I promptly forgot them. I'm bad at things. All right, top number 4 book series of unfortunate events. Number 5, top 5 books. I'm gonna have to put Red, White, and Royal Blue in there. They are on my top. They are top book now. So they're just so cute. They're so cute. I lost my phone. Honestly, that could change any day. But right now, those are my top 5. Introducing samples from your bases. Editing Gabby is back with the tiny microphone, and I have the hair swoops of a Disney prince right now. While editing this, I realized I read this question wrong, so I did not introduce all of our bases with samples. So that might just be another video, or I don't know. I'm sorry. My bad. And then these 2 questions are kind of the same, so I'm lumping them in. Did your move give you refreshed energy, or are you feeling overwhelmed by change? And do you like the new Plies and Hellhounds headquarters? I don't know, and I don't know yet. Right now I'm just not excited. I'm ready to move. We got our apartment 3 days ago, and our lease is up technically on the 31st. We have until like the 5th to get out. So we cut it very close, and I'm just very glad to have somewhere to move to instead of having to bunk at my parents' house while we continue to look. We thought the housing market was just insane for houses. Turns out it's also insane for apartments. Basically, while we were looking at things, people were already putting deposits down. So we hoard them for fun, basically. Last question. Would you dye Lady of Shalott a Marie Cutie? Yes, I will. I don't know when. End of the month. But yes, I will. And those are all of the questions. Thank you so much for asking. And starting to pack up the office with me. Ooh, sorry, I'm blowing out the camera. This was fun. This was a fun, I didn't plug in my microphone. Oh God. Yeah, thank you for asking all these questions and packing with me. So we are going to pause packing for now, and we will go into what I've been reading in just a second. Beautiful. I have not checked to see what I last read before I podcasted last. So we're going to start off with, I think, the biggin. I have read A Court of Silver Flame by Sarah J. Maas. This is technically the 5th or 4th. I'm counting this as like number 4/number 1 of a new series, basically. This is the 4th book in her A Court of Thorns and Roses series. It is following Nesta and Cassian with a hint of Azriel and an annoying amount of face and their stupid eyeshadows. So I really, this is no, like, we are no longer in the YA section. Thank you. Bless you. She burnt that building down, and then she burnt the bridge down, and then she vacuumed up the ashes, and then she flipped them off while she threw them into the sea. So this is a whole new series. I really enjoyed it. There were parts that made me so mad. So very mad. But this is now, we're following the characters, we're not following the storyline. Like, I think the storyline could have been drawn out more over 3 books and could have been a long journey, but it sort of turned into 1 book. I'm trying to make this very spoiler-free-ish. Spoiler-free-ish. I enjoyed it. I've read it twice already. I have tabbed the bejesus out of it because I'm obsessed. So, number 1. I then did read, I don't know if I have it still. Alright, I'll do the next physical book. So the next physical book I read was, did I read this first? I don't remember. To Kill a Kingdom, Alexandra Christo. This is a book of a siren, and every year for her birthday, sirens get to take a human man's heart, and she only takes the heart of princes. So in her journey to go get a prince heart, she, things happen, and she ends up having to work with him. So it's a young adult romance-ish, mostly young adult fantasy. Really good, 1 novel, quick read. It wrapped up really nicely. I loved this book. Highly recommend. Okay, so I think I returned them all. So I will show you the last one, maybe, perhaps, maybe not. My Kindle's also about to die. It's having trouble. It's so old. Oh, okay. On Kindle, I read for book club Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singe. Sorry. This is her side Changeling series, where it is the future alternate universe where there are humans, there are changelings, mostly with like wolves, big cats, that kind of thing. And then there are the Sai, who are like telekinetic, something else, and mind magic, but they also have rage problems and end up being murderers. So in the 70s, they created a program to like brainwash the Sai, so they are completely emotionless at all times for everything. Thank you, motorcycles. Great. The story follows one of the Sai who ends up being an empath, and she falls in love and is mates a panther, a cougar, one of the changelings. It's good. It was a very good, quick read. It was very predictable, but in like a nice, calming, comforting way. Would recommend. She's got a lot of books in this series. I don't remember if I talked about this before, but I did finish there we go, Rhapsodic, which is the Bargainer series by Laura Thalissa. It's technically 4 books. I've read the 3 books. The 4th book, which I have not read by her, it's not Duncan, is it? Oh god. Yeah, Desmond Flynn, that's his name. So yeah, the 4th book in the series is from Desmond's point of view. I might go back to it one day, I might not. I enjoyed it. The main character girl, Callie, who is a siren, was a little too pick-me girl for me for a while, but then it picked up really well, and then like it kind of died off a little bit. It was a fun, quick read. It's also Feylands fantasy. Oh, what's wrong? This is not going in order at all. And then at some point, I read Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I think that's how you say her name. Super adorable, the cutest thing in the world. It's a contemporary romance between Alex who is the first son of the first woman president of the United States. It takes place in 2020, so it just hurts my heart a little bit to be like, oh, what a great time that would have been if we weren't in a pandemic. And the Prince of England, Henry, who is I think he's the second son? Yeah, second in line. The story of them and their friend groups meeting, like it started off them being pitted against each other in the tabloids, but then they have to fake a friendship. It was just all the good tropes, like mistaken enemies to lovers, close quarters proximity, forced friendships, just so cute. So cute. Highly recommend. This is a super quick read and just absolutely darling. I want to read more of her stuff. So those are what I finished. I did start Darker Shade of Magic by B.E. Schwab. I am really enjoying this. It is a story of Kel, our main character, is an Antari? Antari? I'm not gonna find it. He is a type of magic that lets him cross through the different worlds. So there's 4 different worlds. Every world has a London. Two of the Londons have magicians that can travel between them, and they use them to correspond with the kings and queens of each London. So each London also has their own version of the Thames, their own version of like Buckingham Palace, their own version of a certain tavern, and their own kings and queens. So Kel is from Red London. There is White London, where the other Antari is from, Grey London, where there's really no magic, and I think that's supposed to be like our London, and then Black London, which has fallen due to magic. So it's really good so far. It's definitely like YA, maybe new adult, fantasy, not really romance, but I'm okay with that. It's just really good. This is part of a trilogy, and this is book 1. I did also start Irish Stories and Folklore for book club, but it's an anthology of Irish folklore and short stories. Really interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. This is definitely a book where I don't want to sit down and read it. I want to pick and choose the stories. So we as a book club decided to just pretend that this meeting is never gonna happen, and we're just gonna enjoy the book and try again next month with a different book. And this is from, it's edited by Stephen Brannan. So I got this on eBay for like $5. So far, so good. I've read a couple Oscar Wilde ones that were very cutesy. As cutesy as Oscar Wilde can be. That is what I have been reading. Again, not a lot of, I have not been knitting. The knit joke, I think, is slowly coming back. I think with spring and packing and cleaning, I'm getting a better look at what I have and what I want to make and what I'm missing in my wardrobe. I did get a couple books because there's no chill. I got the How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. I got this for my birthday from Mama Gergs. It is, I think, post The Cruel Prince, so I'm very excited to read this. This, I think, is going to be like an afternoon. This might be like an afternoon or a one evening kind of read, but I'm super excited to get into it. They have illustrations, and oof, my boy, my wine-soaked boy. I can't wait. And I also picked up, because there's no chill, Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas. This author, he also wrote Cemetery Boys, which I, again, highly recommend. It is a YA contemporary romance fantasy. This is his take on Peter Pan. So in the woods, children go missing. Wendy and her brothers went in the woods and only Wendy came out, and then she mysteriously meets this boy Peter who needs her help to find or capture his shadow. I'm so excited. I just got this in the mail this week. I don't know when I'm gonna read it. I'm hoping very soon. And he is doing, I will leave the link below, if you it's one of those campaigns where if you send in your receipt, they will send you enamel pins and prints and little signed plates to put in your books. I got his signed copy of Cemetery Boys from Y'all Fest over the summer because I went to a couple of those panels online. And again, no chill, so I obviously had to sign up for the campaign for this because Cemetery Boys was so good and I'm so excited to read this. So there's the cover. I haven't, ooh, okay. I haven't looked at the, ooh, but I really like the pink. Yeah, those are my book things. I do have more books coming in. On Tuesday, Rules of Wolves comes out by Leigh Bardugo, and that is the second book in the King of Scars series that she is doing in her Grishaverse. So, I don't know when I'm getting it because I'm getting it for my birthday from Mama Gergs, but it's not out yet, so she can't get it. And I did order a book box from Fairy Loot, but I don't think that's coming in until June, so we can all collectively forget I bought it until it shows up at my parents' house in June, and then you can all hear me start screaming immediately. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna get back to packing. I am hoping to get back into these. I think with packing and unpacking and kind of setting up the new studio, I'm going to have a little bit more inspiration to do videos. I don't want to knit just to make content for this channel. I would like to keep my craft joe to just work on it if I feel like working on it kind of thing. So I'm hoping to do a couple different kind of videos to not fill in the gaps, but keep us going. I do have an idea for the next video. I don't know. I'm hoping to get it filmed and at least started for this week or next week. That way when I'm all settled in the new place, I can kind of get started on what I want to do after that video. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Welcome back and sticking with us, and we will see you hopefully next week. When I figure out what day I want to be posting again, I will have a better sign off, I promise. Thank you so much for supporting us and the shop, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.